American flag flying down there, but the wind's not catching it yet. Can we zoom in? No. Take my word. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. There we go, now we got both flags kind of kicking up there a little. Anyway, guys, was just giving a bit of time there for people to jump on into the stream. Give people another couple of seconds and we will spark one up. Down here outside of this lovely fucking little pub and sitting on the dock in Dungarvan. Nice little pair there. All the boats. Water's filled with the water's filled with mullet there as well at the moment. It's really cool to see. Topham Surroundable, Teddy's Farm, B Mooney. Grab your parachutes. That's a first. Graham Parker, what's happening? And High and Homegrown, what's going on, guys? Nice one, everybody, for joining me. We're just giving a few seconds there for people just to hop in before we get stuck into it. But we'll spark this bad boy up anyway as we do. So, down here in Dungarvan, as I said, enjoying the sunshine at the moment, as I was in the courtroom just up until about 10 minutes ago. My case was brought up. The solicitor has requested that it be put back. At least he indicated that that's the way he's heading. But that was kind of all that was said, and then the case just goes back into the listing to be called up again later on today, to kind of just run through and get a brief indication as to what the defence, I suppose, really their intention is in the appeal cases. So that was what my solicitor has requested. I'm number 37 on the case. So after they went through all of them, got to me number 37, said that, and I stood up, sat down, and then they went through the next 10 or 20, whatever was left there, all the other appeals. So then the judge left the room for like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm not going to be called to case number 37 again. As I left, they were only on like case 3 or 4, so it's going to be a while yet before my case actually gets called up. So most likely the case is just going to be put back to another date. Hopefully it's going to be put back to coincide with the end of the High Court cases that are currently going ahead for the other CBD businesses, of which one was Relief Dungarvan, those who I was out protesting for on the day that I handed the CBD joint into the cops. So we'll see what happens there. I'll be back on later on today to give you a bit more of an update on that as to what actually happens. But while I was in the court there this morning, of the first few cases that were actually heard, one of them was actually a young woman, 22-year-old woman. Won't give out her name or anything, but when the case was called up, the guards went up to give their evidence to the court. And they basically outlined how the guards on the evening in question, this car was in front of them and failed to indicate pulling into a housing estate, so they pulled on the blue lights to kind of pull them in, see what was going on. But as they did, the car sped up and drove away from them. The car pulled up outside of a house inside the housing estate that it turned into, and two lads jumped out of the car, leaving a woman, the driver, in the car. The guards, when they got up to the car, said to the woman, look, we're going to search the car under the Misuse of Drugs Act, because there was a very strong smell of cannabis coming from the car, but they found nothing in the car. And because the lads bunked down into the gaff, there was very little the guards could actually do in that stage then. I don't think they could actually just go in and raid the gaff based on that. So they never found any cannabis on the evening. But what they did do is they tried the woman under, I believe, and I'm open to correction on this, but I believe it was under Section 21 of the Misuse of Drugs Act, obstruction of an officer investigating drugs-related crime. So she got convicted of that in the court initially, and she appealed it, and she was up in court today on the appeal of that. So her barrister came up and was given the old spiel as the whitest woman, shouldn't receive a conviction because, she was a full-time worker. She was in college at the time, but because of the stress of all of going through the court and getting a conviction, she actually dropped out of college, sorry. So that she highlighted in the court, and the judge pretty much took her side on this because she allowed the appeal to go ahead, that the the harmful effects of criminalisation were detrimental to this young woman and to her future. So the judge, after hearing the case anyway, she was told that the woman, when the blue lights came on, and we let this truck pass, let's blur this black up. So when the blue lights came on, one of the males in the car, one of the two males in the car with her, who jumped out and ran into the house, actually told her, keep driving or you're dead. So the court was told this. I believe it was called on the first day and on the second day. The court was also told as well that one of the males was actually in the court there today, probably for a case of his own, because apparently these two lads were known to the guards as well. So the judge went ahead anyway after hearing all that and gave the woman the opportunity to pay €250 into the court, or to the St. Vincent de Paul, actually, a direct payment to the St. Vincent de Paul, because I don't believe they're doing a court charity box down here. Maybe there's just direct payments to the charity. It's the way of getting around, I suppose, having a paper trail there of how much the court charity box is collected. If a person has to make a payment directly to the charity, I'm not too sure how that's actually recorded. Is that FOIable, as in, like, could you put in a Freedom of Information request and find out how much has been ordered for people to pay directly to charities? I'm not too sure if that's something you can find out. So maybe somebody out there could enlighten me a little bit on that. But again, people might have seen the article I put out there the other day of the judge using the court charity box. Come to court in December there, buddy, and if it's enough money you have and it impresses me, I'll let you off with a conviction. We have a two-tier system here in Ireland, where if you have enough money, if you can afford to be paying these donations, as they call them, to the charity box, you can walk out conviction free. I know myself, I was fortunate enough to be able to be in that position to pay it back then. I was working not one but two jobs all those years ago when I was being dragged through courts. So not only did I pay the donations, but I had to take days off of work as well, which also had a cost associated with it, because a day off of work means a day less pay that week. And on top of a day less pay, then you've now this fine also to pay. And keep in mind, I became a dad at a young enough age. I became a dad at the age of 17, about 3 months before my 18th birthday. My first court case was at the age of it when I was 18, and I got struck out. I didn't have to pay anything that time, which was lucky enough. But any other time after that, then 9 more times after that, I had to pay like a minimum of €225, I believe, was the lowest I ever paid. The most I ever had to pay was €400. So I believe almost $3,000, I suppose, I would have contributed to that poor box. Oh, what should I do with my lighter? But we're sat here actually, and oops, camera zoomed in. Over there, just over that white van, you see a little yellow building? That's the actual courthouse. So this is the beautiful little bay down here that I'm enjoying this little bit of civil disobedience by. So yeah, I suppose just to add further, I suppose there's a number of other cases that are up on appeal today in relation to cannabis possession. So more resources being wasted there by the state. This is all very relevant as well, given that the Citizens' Assembly is currently underway. So hopefully, if people are out there from the Citizens' Assembly, you're one of the 99, or if you know one of the 99, maybe you might forward them this video and share with them my experiences of the negative, harmful effects of my drug use, i.e. being criminalised, because it has been detrimental to me, and not just to me, but to my family also and others around me. So it's worth highlighting this at this very relevant time. The prohibition of drugs is far more harmful to the individuals and the individuals around those drug users too, i.e. their family and friends, because they have to suffer the loss of that. I spent 5 days in Cork prison. That was 5 days my family were without me. And keep in mind, I'm a primary carer within my family. My family rely on me to provide and care for them and to be there and to do the things that a dad does for his kids and for his partner and all of these other commitments there. was a coach, of friends. I could go on, but look, I don't even want to be getting too emotional. I actually recorded a bit of a video earlier this morning that I was going to upload, but towards the end of it I just got too emotional because I'm worn out now. I'm able to present here and come across maybe fine, but underneath I'm a broken person. I spent the majority of last night having conversations with the judge here in the court this morning, even though I'm not even going to be talking to the judge, it's going to be the solicitor, but nonetheless about a million different scenarios played out in my mind last night, and I'm exhausted. I kind of didn't get much sleep, and feel like I'm after running fucking an ultra marathon at this stage now. Yes, how physically, mentally, emotionally drained I am from this whole thing. This protest was back in August of 2021. We're now in May of 2023. 2 years down the road. I started at a time when things were a bit more stable in my life and stuff. Things are a bit chaotic now outside of this. There's other issues going on in my life that require my attention, and to have any of that attention and focus taken away from those issues because of things like this, it's just detrimental to those issues, really, and reaching a positive conclusion in them. But look, who's out there in the audience? Anyway, guys, let's give shout outs to people. Podge, what's happening, Podge? Must get down your way, bud. It's been a while since we caught up. And you need to see that beautiful face of yours. But Podge says he paid €1,200 to the poor box. He still lost his licence for 5 years, though. And losing a driving licence for drug-related crimes is absolutely ridiculous. They took mine off me because I had less than €5 worth of cannabis in my car. It wasn't even a DUI driving under the influence. It was literally just being in possession. Oh, D. Mooney. Oh, I dropped it. Sorry for the close-up in the face. It's windy down here. A little bit breezy, actually. Not very windy. Breezy. Oh, look. Those flags are flying there now. Me just turn on that. Yeah, buddy. Shout out to Bobby if you're out there. Representing the Americans out there in the audience. Daniel Gormley says, at B. Mooney, it's standard practice with Garda to put on that charge when they don't like you or wouldn't talk to you. Confirm got that charge a few times. Can confirm got that charge a few times. B. Mooney says smelling cannabis is still a probable cause for search, etc. here, unfortunately. Yeah, smelling like cannabis or even just acting suspiciously. What does that even mean, acting suspiciously? When a guard says it, you just have to, you can't question it. You're acting suspicious. That's what I got. I was searched like between the ages 17 and 21, I would say easily 100 times, and got caught with stuff about maybe probably 9 or 10 times. 10% success rate. Should really bring those flamethrower, the blow-torch lighters, much better for the breezy days. Grab your parachute says it might be a cause for search, but the search has to find something for there to be a crime. Suspicion of a crime is not proof of a crime. Yeah, it certainly isn't, but I think because of the 2 lads jumping out of the car in regards to the lady, that she facilitated it by driving them to the house, even though that they weren't caught with drugs. The guards can make that insinuation, and they have the power, the court behind them. They got the conviction in the district court, but they lost out there on the appeal when the other judge heard it. So you say it's not proof of a crime, but when it's the word of a guard, they can get you on that obstruction. Pine Homegrow says, stay strong, bro, fighting a good fight. Will indeed, man. Keep my spirits high, I will. Martin, you're only human, brother. Take the time you need with your family. Remember family first. Because as you know, I've been taking a little bit of time off. I've taken the foot off the pedal over the last while in regards to the campaign, and that's largely due to me putting family first. But I do appreciate each and every one of your support out there, guys. I'm not forgetting about you when I'm taking a bit of time off. It's just that family does come first. Benny Ben says, hi Mackie. Daniel Gormley says, 3 searches from the same Garda and fine nothing can be charges brought against Garda. They know this as well, Daniel Gormley. When I see your tag and grab your parachute there in this, they know this as well, and they'll avoid that. So they'll other guards will search. I got searched over 100 times, and I would reckon maybe 2 or 3 times I got searched by the same guard. And that guard would have been a guard who might have previously found me with something, and then when he didn't find me with stuff and follow-up searches, I never got a 3rd search off him. So I do believe they're aware of this, and they might get their buddies after you then. Hey, what's happening, Scatness? Daily Talker as well as out there in the hot box. What's happening, Daily Talker? Says, long time no see, Scatness. Top all as well. Shyson says, take all the time you need and don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, nice one, guys. And I have to give a big shout out to the guys over in the hot box as well as on Telegram. And if you're not already a member over there, guys, the link is in previous streams. It's not in the description of this one, but go back to one of the older 420 news. You'll find the link there in the description. But yeah, the guys have certainly gotten me through some dark times, and I know that they've done the same for others as well in the group. You know, there's a really nice community looking out for one another. And you know, hopefully we'll see people like Daily Talker join back in there as well someday when he's got the time, as I know it can be a bit distracting as well, because there'll be some great conversations, and there's a lot of camaraderie going on in there, so you kind of feel you need to keep going back in there. But yeah, I can see why some people just need to, what would you say, take digital detoxes at times. Just flicking back through some of the comments there. Edzer Donegan is out there as well. What's happening, Edzer? So guys, I better start wrapping this one up, finishing up this talk. I'll take another drag or two with you, and I might leave the topper then there for in a minute. But I've got to go back into the fucking court here now before they call up my case. Oh, excuse me. One more close up for the spark up. Yeah, cherry picking is all they're doing, parachutes. I agree with you, man. Picking the lowest hanging fruit, that's all they're fucking doing when it comes to cannabis and stuff. They don't want to let that go either, and that's why the guards were making such a strong case for it at the Citizens Assembly. They don't want to lose these powers to stop and search and these easy fucking wins in the court. This fucking thing has been a nightmare. One of the downsides of smoking pure as well is constantly have to relight it. With yourself, Martin, family needs your care and attention, like you said. Nice and Daily Talker, man, appreciate that. Guys, nice one for all of the best luck coming in there. Grab your parachutes. I know I'm growing as well. Shy son says, peace man, cool, calm and collected. Yeah, I was really worried coming down here today, guys, that I wasn't going to be cool, calm and collected, that maybe the judge might say something that I mightn't like and I mightn't be able to control myself. But I think now, you know, after taking just that drive down here and just taking a bit of time to just meditate a little bit inside in that courtroom as best I could, I think I'm a little bit more at peace now with what's going on. Not accepting, but just at peace with it. So yeah, I'm going to take another talk or two off of this there, and we'll get back in. Yeah, mind yourself, Daily Talker as well, bud. I hope to catch up to you as well during the summer there at some stage. I'll certainly try to get in touch if I ever find myself going up your neck of the woods. See there, Mr. Wes is missing you as well, as do I'd imagine many of the other Hotbox members. Yeah, you're a great member, man. Like many others out there, guys. I was only thinking it in court today is one person was making the case that like they're doing good in life and they're putting this they're kind of referring to people who use drugs as being bad people, but man, some of the nicest people I've met are like right here in this hot box. Most of them are cannabis consumers. So guys, with that, I will love you and leave you. We'll get back on a little bit later on today to give you a proper update as to what actually happened in the case. Myself and Alexis, hopefully, all going well once I don't leave here in handcuffs today. We'll be going out doing a bit of orienteering this evening with the Cork Orienteering Club. I believe we're going to be down around Middleton actually, so that should be really fun, lovely weather for it as well. But I hope I can get on before that to give you an update as to what actually happened here in Cork today. But until then, guys, stay blazed, keep it lit, much love, peace. Fucking thing's gone out again. Good luck, guys. Oh, one last shot of this beautiful scenery down here. Look at that, like, amazing. What a beautiful country on a sunny day.